Hey everybody, welcome to this video of Elevated Office Videos and Elevated Office Podcast. My name is Eric McGrew. I'm the owner of Eric's Tree Service in Montrose, Colorado, Elevated Office, and all the media stuff that you see me guys putting, or you guys see me putting up on Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So today we're going to be talking about first impressions of the Arbortec Scaffell and also the Haix Protector Ultras. Now, these are both boots that a lot of people ask about. They want to compare them and they want to do this and they want to do that because, well, honestly, they're extremely similar in many ways. There are some key differences on first impressions that I can point out, and we're going to talk about that. And there are some key similarities as well. So, first off, each one has its pros and cons, no doubt. I'm not even going to get into pros and cons yet as far as like the overall boot goes. Just going to talk a little bit about my first impressions with them. All right, to get started, while it's not the most important thing, the fact of the matter is that in the world of buying and marketing, it does matter to people because that's why people spend so much money on marketing and things. So, that being said, the Arbortec Scaffell, they come in a bit better of a box. It's just a little bit more appealing. Not a huge deal once again. It's not like we're going to be climbing in the box or using the box for anything, but it does give a really good first impression, okay? And at least with my order, they came with an extra pair of high-vis laces, and they came with a pair of Scaffell performance socks, which, you know, if you go and try to buy any of these things, a pair of these things is, I don't even know, $20 or something, right? So, and I have actually worn these already. They're very comfortable. They are performance oriented. They keep your feet dry. They wick well. They keep from getting, you know, blisters and things easily in them and stuff. So definitely just a little nice throw in that the Arbortecs are going to give you over the Haix from first impressions, okay? Now, the boots themselves are very, very similar in style. You can see it, you know, this is the Arbortec, of course. This is the Haix. You know, very, very similar. Slight nuances, of course, that make them what they are, but very similar overall. They both have some interesting, you know, artistic designing on the outside edge. They both get kind of plain on the inside edge, but still nice looking boots. They do both run Vibram soles on them. So you can see there, these I've already worn outside. The Haix I haven't yet, which is why I'm not getting into a full-on review yet. So Vibram soles. One thing of note off the bat is that these are definitely these. So these are. I thought the Arbortecs were going to come in blue, but they came in green, which is fine. I don't mind. So the Haix Protector Ultras are definitely lighter, like notably to the feel. These are 2.7 on the scale that I used pounds each. And the Scaffell are 3.4. That actually makes a significant difference in feel. Now, that could simply, to be quite frank, could just simply be that they have a full rand around them. Whereas the Haix just have what they call the slingshot on the back and cap toe. They are both steel toe. They are both class 2 chainsaw protection, and they are both, you know, billed as arborist logger boots, okay? So keep that in mind. Another thing to know, at least for me, is that neither one of them had a good insole in it from the factory. They all talk about how they've engineered these insoles and whatever. They're paper thin. They have really stiff support on the inside, arches and stuff. And maybe I just have tender feet. Maybe I'm just a weakling. but see, here's the Arbortec. They're super paper thin, and they didn't add any protection. Like, just standing in them, I almost felt like they were not comfortable. I really personally do not like the Haix Perfect Fit insoles. These things are torture on my feet. So I did change those out with some Dr. Scholl's work boot insoles. Now the Dr. Scholl's work boot inserts are a little bit thicker, and they have gel in them, so it does change the way that they feel. And it does crowd the toe in both boots just a little bit, height-wise, not distance-wise, but height-wise, because it is a thicker insole on them, okay? The only other noticeable difference that I have for these is not insignificant by any means, but not like, oh, this one's so much better or worse that I can tell at the beginning. But they do have slight differences. Like the Arbortec has, they both have the elastic cuff around your, your bottom of your calf to keep debris out and things like that. They are Gore-Tex, so they're both waterproof. So that's good. Like I said, they both run Vibram soles, but this Vibram sole on the Scaffell Lite, you can see a sheen on it. See how there's that like sheen of the light kind of reflecting off of it, and it's kind of rubbery, like plasticky rubbery feeling, right? Which doesn't mean it's a bad sole by any means. But when you look at the Haix boot, you can tell there's not quite that same sheen. Of course, there's a little bit. These are brand new, but it's not rubbery, plasticky like the Arbortecs are. Now they're both, if you can see the difference there, they're definitely both Vibram soles, authentic, legitimate Vibram soles. But what that tells me instantly, and just feeling it, like when I was walking on the kitchen tile, and we have actual tile, when I was walking on the kitchen tile, these teeth, are the lugs, squeak. They go, eek, 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 which means that this is gripping really well. This one does not do that for the Scaffell Lite. And I walked outside in the snow in these, and then tried to climb a tree with them on in the snow with the tree being wet. And it's a pretty aggressive bark tree. It's a locust, and they were slipping everywhere. In dry season use, they would probably grip really well, but the difference is going to be made in the durometer and the kind of composition of this sole to a large degree. Now, here's what I am suspecting. Then this is just speculation because I don't have enough experience yet. The Haix are going to wear faster but have more grip. And the Arbortecs are going to have decent grip, but not quite as good as the Haix, not quite as good as my Arb Pro clip-in steps, but they're going to last longer. Okay? Now, one other thing, I'm glad I brought that up, because one other immediate notice that I had is that these have a rounded ball of the foot, just like these do, right? It's rounded at the front, at the toe. But if you notice, these actually have a little bit of a hook in the back on the heel. It curves up just ever so slightly. I don't know if you guys can see that. Now, that's important because these here are very flat. They have a slight curve, but it's at the very, very tip compared to the other one starting further up. What that means is that when I was wearing these around, I felt like I was walking in snowboarding boots. If you've ever walked in like a really stiff snowboarding boot or something like that, that's what these feel like. You can't walk normally in them, at least I can't. I feel clunky, like clop, 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 clop. Other people have said the same thing. And yet these, when I was walking around inside the house, it didn't make nearly as much noise, and I didn't clop around. It was more of a natural roll. These are slightly less stiff in the upper section as well, like in the tongue and the ankle area, whereas the Arbortecs do have some bend, but they're way more stiff overall. And I have to push way harder to get it to bend. So it changes the way that it feels walking. Now, I'm sure the sole will wear in on the heel on the Arbortechs, and then they'll walk more normally with time. But out of the gate, I would say that the Haix walk just a little bit better, just for the few minutes that I've had both pairs on. I had the Arbortechs on for about 3 hours, and the Haix I've had on for about 30 minutes. So just keep that in mind as well. These are really just basic first impressions of the boots. There are some there are some differences in the lacing style, which we'll talk about in another video, so this one doesn't get too long. But yeah, that's kind of what you're looking at as first impressions that I've noticed of the Haix and the Arbortec. So once again, Arbortec Scaffell, Haix Protector Ultras. This is for my Patreons, so thank you currently James Crawford and Ruben Craighead. Thank you very much for you guys' support. I'm hoping to have more Patreons in the future, and we can make more of these kind of reviews, and this is just the beginning of many. I'm going to be wearing these every other day, one pair every other day, and seeing how that works out for what kind of wear, how they break in, which ones become the most comfortable overall, and what I like overall with them. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.